Ahead of the Sanlam Benchmark Symposium on the 28th of May, Viresh Maharaj, SEB Chief Marketing Actuary, is on the line now to give us some more insight here. Viresh, thank you so much for your time today. Maybe give us some further details as to what the aim of this particular symposium aims to address, especially with its focus on employee benefits.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it. The Sanlam Benchmark Symposium is an event that's been running since 1981 with the explicit purpose of conducting research on South Africa's employee benefits/retirement funding context and sharing this research with the entire market so that we as an industry and as an economy can make better decisions to enable South Africans to retire with decent retirement outcomes. This year, we've identified a number of gaps in the industry where we believe that employers and funds have a role to play in order to save the future of South Africa's retirees.
Viresh, how do you strike the balance there? You mentioned that the employers obviously have more of a role to play, but surely employees also need to be educated as to how to make things work for themselves here.
Absolutely. We agree with you 100%. The research indicates that employees themselves are almost entirely reliant on their employers for that education. In analyzing the retirement funding system, we've also identified the employer as the most influential leverage point to enable employees to save better and to make better decisions. As we need to ensure that employees embrace retirement saving, in fact, lifetime wealth creation instead, education and financial education needs to be top of mind. But what we found is that typically employees may not have made the right choices, and despite the best efforts, may still not make the right choices. And therefore, education alone isn't the silver bullet. And that's where the industry, as well as employers, need to have the right structures in place that set employees up for success rather than enabling them to fail.
Viresh, Lindsay in Cape Town, advice from pensioners is one of your last slides, and it says here the following: advice from pensioners, not to pensioners, but from pensioners. Save from an earlier age, start planning for retirement from an earlier age, and save as much as possible, which is exactly the antithesis of what's going on in South Africa at the moment. Is it your job? Is it the government's job? Is it the job of the financial services industry in general to get those three very pertinent points across?
Well, you know what, I'd like to say it's actually our job, in the sense that it's government's job, it's the industry's job, it's the financial journalist industry's job, as well as the job of South African employers, because there is a link between the financial wellness of employees and employer productivity. So if we are enabling and empowering South Africa's employees to invest appropriately and have enough money set aside for their retirement, their financial stress reduces, and therefore their productivity does not reduce as a result. So in that sense, it's our challenge, and it's a challenge that we can only tackle if we work together. And at this stage, we seem to be going in different directions because of this cycle of debt that South African consumers are stuck in. What we found is that, the stats are out there from the Reserve Bank. We're on a net zero savings rate at this stage, and South Africa's employees, based on our research, seem to be caught in a hamster wheel of debt, which leads to them withdrawing their preservation benefits in full when resigning from an employer, which means that they effectively reboot their retirement savings each time that they change employment. Now, over the course of one's career, it has the effect of actually sabotaging your financial future. In the modeling that we've done, we found that subject to a number of variables, if you were to preserve throughout your career at each job change, you stand to benefit by having a retirement capital base 10 to 16 times greater than had you not preserved. And that is significant.
Viresh, we're going to have to leave it there, but thank you so much for your insights today. That was Viresh Maharaj, SEB Marketing Actuary.